Now, the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party appears to be over after the leadership of the party reached a truce with the PDP G5 governors. Members of the PDP G5 governors, led by Governor of Rivers State Nyesom Wike, have been at loggerheads with Atiku after Wike failed to win the party's presidential tickets. Now, the G5 were also unhappy that Atiku rejected Wike as running mate and are demanding the resignation of Iyorchia Ayu as party chairman, allegedly to reduce dominance of the PDP by the north. However, indications have emerged that former military head of state General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, retired, appears to have brought the crisis rocking the main opposition party to an end. Now, the parley, which appeared to be fruitful, saw the G5 making fresh demands. Now, let's discuss this, and we have joining us in the studio the chieftain of the PDP and former chairman of FEMA, Dr. Olajide Adeniji. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
Joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
So how has it been with all these things happening? Are we seeing some light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, the other time I came here, I told you that PDP is a family, very cohesive family. There is no family, there are no quarrels. What matters is how you solve the quarrels. And whatever you think is happening in PDP is under control now.
Okay, but this isn't the first time that peace talks have actually, failed. So is it really over?
There is no time that any peace talk in PDP fails. We don't need to be telling you what we are passing.
Things that at the end, for example, the presidential candidate visited Governor Wike and all that. Some delegation were said to have met him, and still it didn't come to anything.
Well, that is what you believe. When you are constructing a building, people will not know the effort that you have put in the foundation. But when they see the building, everybody will just be clapping. They don't know the soil structure, they don't know what you are putting, the kind of reinforcement, the kind of concrete that you are putting in. Until the building begins to rise, then you will know that something is coming up. PDP is doing work. We want to salvage Nigeria. There is no pride that is too much for us to drop to make sure that Nigeria makes it. And I want to assure you, what is happening now, the whole Nigeria will clap for PDP as the only democratic party. PDP is the oldest party in Nigeria. It's the only party that since 1998 we are still PDP. Others are coalition of different interests.
Okay, now the demands of the G5, fresh demands of the G5 is that the top government offices should be shared among the 6 geopolitical zones. What are your thoughts on this, and do you think these demands will be met?
Well, you see, at times, journalists, I don't know how to rate you. A lot of things you hear, it's just, some are fallacy. Making fresh demand about, we have to share something geopolitical zone. First and foremost, our principal, the presidential candidate, is a nationalist. There is no way he will appoint service chiefs and all of them will be from one religion and all of them will be, it is not possible. So it's like preaching to the converted. When you are demanding that all the service chiefs will be shared equally, that is what the demand is. Atiku Abubakar is a Nigerian personified. I mean, you cannot. It's a northerner by birth. It's a southerner by association and by business.
Okay, so can you tell us what agreement has actually been reached right now? Since
well, I am not the national chairman of the party. It will be like letting the cat out of the bag, telling you what agreement we have made, we have reached. When the people that are in authority, the national chairman, the presidential candidate, and people like Wike, they can tell you the agreement. But for me, I know that everything is working perfectly well.
But the Wike group have repeatedly said that it is Ayu must go or nothing. That's the foundation for any discussion to continue.
No, I think that is not the stage we are in now. Are you going with me? mean we are going to have a national convention, which is the highest level of the party. And removing Ayu today, the deputy North takes over. It's still the same North. And if you remove that one, the vice chairman from the North Central takes over. If you say the three of them should go, the deputy national chairman South takes over. We cannot have an acting national chairman from the South and national secretary from the South, which means both the accounting officer and the approval officers are from the same zone. So any reasonable person will not talk about are you resigning now. What should be our preoccupation is how the PDP will win the presidential election. And by the special grace of God, that is exactly what we are going to do.
You know, what you're saying and what we're seeing doesn't quite tally, you know, especially when it comes to, I remember a story of the G5 governors visiting Bauchi State Governor, that's Bala Mohammed. There seems to be disaffection in the party.
Well, that visit was a good visit to me, because it was after that visit that Otom apologized to the whole Nigeria, that calling a whole nationality hell, that is very sorry. You will see that what is happening in PDP today is spiritual. God is helping us to make sure that we get ourselves out of the mess we find ourselves. So you, at the end of the tunnel, there will be brighter light.
Some people... Okay. Yeah.
You know, people say your own party is not united. How come you are even thinking that you can win the general election when you are not even a united force internally?
Well, that is what people believe, that we are not united. Majority of Nigerians are suffering today. Majority
but are you united?
We are uniting. There's a difference between united and uniting.
So it's a
some
work in
people
progress.
actually say it's too late. It's quite
well,
late.
Those are pessimists. Everybody you see in PDP today wants Nigeria to get out of the mess we find ourselves. And there is nothing too big for any of us to drop to make sure that PDP wins the presidency of Nigeria. Nothing too big. All the G5, they are patriotic. They want the best for Nigeria. All the other parties, including myself, we want the best for Nigeria. At the end of the day, we will be as united as ever, and we are going to win that election.
When you talk of the mess we found ourselves, the ruling party would always say that it is the 16 years of PDP that led to this mess. But
you yourself, as an educated journalist, you see that if somebody can tell you the whole world that when he takes over government, electricity will come within 6 months, and today is worse than ever before. If somebody will say that they will make 1 naira to be $1, and today is 880, 10,000% higher than when I started service. When I started service, it was 88 kobo to $1. Today is 880 naira to $1. Nonsense we are talking about. It is not enough to be blaming the opposition. It is for you to solve the problem of what the opposition you think has caused. Nigerians are not, they are not fools. Nigerians have seen that they were hitting 3 square meals a day. Today it's difficult to hit only one meal. Go to your villages. When we were in government, when you dash somebody 5,000 naira, they will not thank you. Give them 500 naira today. They will thank you more than 10 times. Now good day, now good day, now good day, now good day, because of 5 naira. Because of 500 naira. But that is the kind of level we find ourselves. So anybody talking that the opposition has caused problems, they don't know what is their program. How do they want to solve the problem they think we have caused? That is what we are talking about. They are leaving Nigeria worse than ever before. I mean, this is
but they say the power that you're talking about is because the $60 million that your government spent on power and there is no result.
After 8 years, what have they done to improve the power?
There are stories, of course, about
the story. Are you seeing the story?
Power stations.
Actually,
there are reports of improvement in power supply.
If they say in 6 months they will fix power, and after 8 years, they have not fixed anything. Nigerians, let us be smart. We cannot live on lies. We cannot live on the falsification. We cannot live on fallacy.
Okay, well, some would actually say this is the same tempo, the APC government, the APC actually came with when you were in government and in now. So what makes, what will make this different?
Well, if they are liars, Nigerians have now realized that liars are liars. They don't have any other two names. Whatever they are talking, Nigerians are just looking at them. Go to anywhere today. Go to Kano, go to Borno. When we went for Borno campaign, I was surprised. And thank God we are from
development.
I was surprised the kind of mammoth crowd that came to the stadium. Oh. Despite the fact that they didn't want, they paid for Okadas and they come out. They said today is free day. They paid them in advance so that people will not come. People tried to.
But that's an allegation you are making, sir. But someone will also say that you are a renting crowd.
Renting crowd? It's only APC that rents crowd. We PDP, we don't know that theory of renting crowd. We are crowd people. Either you like it or not, people go to Kano, go everywhere. It's PDP everywhere.
But you were attacked in Borno. The PDP was attacked.
If an armed robber attack you now, is it your fault that an armed robber attack you? Attack you because of their own self-centeredness. We cannot attack ourselves.
Not because of unpopularity.
No, exactly.
No, that is the mistake you people are making. A lot of people are crooks. They organize murderers and to attack people. And you think that is a normal thing. Nigeria should go beyond that one. Go to your place where you want to campaign. Tell people about your program. Let the people judge whether your program is acceptable or not. If you win this time around, to God be the glory. If you lose, prepare for another time. We are, by the special grace of God, Nigeria will get to that level. But this level of people getting people to attack is madness. And God will put an end to it. We didn't attack ourselves. They attacked us. And Nigerians are watching. Either to vote for gentlemen or to vote for thugs.
Okay,
so one of the biggest selling points, or campaign points for your candidate is he's a unifier.
Oh, yeah, of course,
But then people will say, if you can't unite the party, how can you unite the country?
We are uniting the party. I told you when we started there. The party is being united. He is doing his best. We don't need to expose what this man is passing through. He has done all the visit that he needs to do. He has made he's a quiet, complete gentleman. He's a man that politically I want to be like him. He takes a lot of things and other people will have lost it. But this man is very calm. But that does not mean he's not doing work. He goes out, he visits people. Himself and Okowa, they are just two complete gentlemen.
Still on unity, they said he went to Kaduna and said that he is from the north, that the north should support him because he is from the north.
You see
is that something that a unifier should be saying?
Please, don't be quoting people out of context.
What did he say?
Atiku never said so. What Atiku?
He said, "What the north? Let me know what the north needs."
Let him clarify.
Don't put words into my mouth.
Okay, I'm trying to.
What
to remind
Atiku
you.
said is that what the stage Nigeria is now is not either somebody is from the north or from the west. It's capacity we are talking about, and by the special grace of God, your own son has that capacity and have the spread. You understand? And no, let us even talk of the whole geopolitical zone. Since 1960, the only region in Nigeria that never produced president or commander-in-chief of armed forces is the Northeast. Never, both military and civilian. They have never tasted that office. Are we fair? What are we talking about?
Okay, now, if you remember, initially, Atiku had actually said he has moved on and, campaigns had actually started without the G5. What people are actually saying now is that the reason why he's having a rethink is because of the meeting with
Atiku did not say we have moved on. He said we are moving on. There's a difference between moved on and moving on. You understand? We were moving on, not without them. We are still making negotiation that time. And the negotiation is bearing fruit now. There's a difference between moved on and moving on.
No, but he was
moving on is a continuous something. We are still moving on up to today.
No, when he spoke to in an interview with VOA when he traveled to the US,
yes,
he said that exactly that the train has moved on.
The train has moved on. Does not mean the train moved on. So, I think you are getting, no, this is grammar. I went to a grammar school in my secondary school, so you cannot.
So if it has moved on, what's the difference between that it has moved on and that
it has moved on? We just want to pick the other passenger from the next station, and they are waiting for us.
Okay.
So, but these passengers, their body language doesn't suggest they are ready to actually go into this train.
I won't leak our secret to you. You can't put words into my mouth. I won't preempt what we are doing. At the end of the tunnel, there will be brighter light.
Okay, we can't wait for that to happen because he's actually saying that because, you know, we've actually, our hopes have actually been dashed, you know, times without number, you know, after, you know, a meeting.
This time around, your hope will never be dashed.
Okay, all right. So now a lot of people seem to think that, you know, the feud has dragged too long, that, you know, other opponents have gained more popularity.
Which popularity do they get? They don't get any popularity. Where?
The other candidates.
They've
not started because they have united houses. For example, the Labour Party, they don't have crisis.
We are talking of Labour Party with 30 candidates for House of Rep. Is it only the 30 candidates with all the 30?
But they have a massive Nigerian news behind the guy.
Your social media something. Be careful about it. If you go to the north today, I happen to, my first 20 years as a graduate was spent in the north. So I see myself as a northerner by service. Though the social media does not work as such in the north. An average northerner knows what VOA says today, knows what BBC say. They are always with radio. All this social madness is just mouth. Is it social media that will vote for you?
No, it's the people, it's Nigerians that are on social media.
Nigerians, yes, minority Nigerians. People like you and me. I mean, that's it. Labour Party. And you are talking of Labour Party being a challenge to who? Bible says that come unto me, ye that have labored and heavy laden. Okay, I will give you rest.
Are you saying that the social media is not as powerful as people think? Because if I remember correctly, you know, the APC actually used social media.
They didn't use social media at that time. They used propaganda. You understand?
But your candidate was part of it, part and parcel of it.
My candidate?
Yes, the presidential candidate.
No, we are not talking history today. We are talking reality.
That's what I'm saying. No, but history helps to understand today.
Well, he was not part of it. He was not campaigning against PDP that time. Not at all. But he was
part of the propaganda that led to the APC coming to power.
Atiku Abubakar was never part of that propaganda.
But you say it's propaganda that led to the APC coming to office?
By the propagandists. He was not a
front-line member of the party.
He was, I beg, just let's move on and talk another thing. We are talking about the present issue. You are referring me to history that it does not have anything to do
all right,
with what
so why was the former President Goodluck Jonathan dragged into the issue, you know, saying that the G5 were fighting his cause?
That G5 were fighting whose cause?
The former President Goodluck Jonathan.
They should not drag His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan into all this kind of thing. Ebele Jonathan is a statesman. And if you see him, he's an international figure now. Any crisis all over the world is the one they are calling. Because he has a track record that this present APC messed up, and they are now begging him to even support them because they now realize that what they did to him that time was force. They should not drag Goodluck Jonathan into any controversy. He has no relationship with any, he is friends to everybody. But he's not working with any G5. They should not drag his good name into this muddy political terrain we find ourselves. Please.
Now, for example, anywhere, governors are very instrumental to, you know, electioneering activities in Nigeria.
Yes.
And then beside the G5, even other governors don't seem to be really committed to your presidential campaign. Because anywhere your candidate goes, you see him only, or maybe himself and the DG or with a few chieftains of the party. Is that really an attitude that can deliver the party?
No, I don't understand what you are saying. Because I participated in the campaign. We go everywhere. Governors are there.
But we always see whatever is happening.
But the governors are there.
Where?
Is it because the G5 governors were not in the campaign?
Not only the G5 governors.
We are working on it.
When he plugged up his campaign, I think only 3 governors came around.
No, tell me those 3 governors, because I was there physically.
So how many came?
I cannot even remember because there are just many. Udom was there. Bala Mohammed was there. A lot of governors were there.
But without, for example, even in Bauchi yesterday, I saw the pictures from the event in Jigawa and Bauchi, and you see that the only PDP governor that is with him is Tambwal, who is the DG of the campaign. Is
the Jigawa visit, is it a campaign visit or private visit?
No, it's not. Is there anything private when you are campaigning?
No, when you go
because
for
there was rally.
Yes, rally is Jigawa rally, it's not national rally. He has gone there for a visit. He has gone there for installation of the Emir of Azari.
But we don't see that, so, for example, with APC.
Are we going to the Emir's palace to go and campaign?
But we don't see that with APC, where almost everywhere the candidate.
Where have they started their own campaign? You are the one telling me now. Where have they started campaign?
Well, I say where he goes. I'm not saying whether they are campaigning or. Well, of course, campaign has officially started since September.
No, but where have you seen APC campaigning?
Okay, now let's
we are the one that is campaigning because we belong to the masses.
All right, so why is it that, the likes of Olusegun Obasanjo and former President Goodluck Jonathan are not actively involved in this
They cannot be actively involved. Obasanjo at almost 90 years, you want him to be carrying himself to be following us to campaign? What we need from him is fatherly advice. And I want to assure you, he's giving us that fatherly advice. Somebody like His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, today is in Mali, tomorrow is in Botswana, next tomorrow is in Zambia. He's an African statesman now. Everywhere there is problem, is our problem solver. And you will not, because we are doing campaign, which he is supporting anyway, that is to abandon international engagement and come and be campaigning with us. No. A lot of his people, including me, is my man. We are actively involved in the campaign. He's like himself being there.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for this. But before we go, because time is not on our side, I have one very final question. Your candidate promised to create 3 million jobs every year, and then lift.
Where did you hear that one?
From his campaign speeches. You don't read the manifesto?
We are the one that authored the manifesto. So,
and you're asking me why
if Atiku Abubakar tells you he will create 3 million
so it's not
jobs,
possible.
He would. Who told you it's not possible? He has a company that is having over 50,000 workers. His own companies. As a president of
how is he going to create the 3 million jobs?
How is he going to create? I'm not the presidential candidate. He has all.
But
he has all it takes.
You are a four-front person in the campaign.
Oh yeah, of course, yes. But that does not mean that I'm the one that will be ruling. Ours is to support him. He has everything it takes to create anything he says he want to create. Atiku Abubakar is a truthful person. What he cannot do, he will not say it. What he can do, he will not say he cannot do it. He's a man of great honor. We have been with him for years, and we have seen that he's a man that is solid. Very, very solid. Whatever he promises, he will do it.
So you have deep down, do you really see your candidate winning this election?
Even yourself, if not because you are a journalist and you don't want to participate in politics, you know that he's the one that will win. He's the one.
Well,
the masses are for us.
You can tell.
Well, time will tell.
Time will tell. When the elections come, then
I know inside you will be praying that, oh, let my big daddy from North win. He will win.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak this morning.